I do have another question. Yes. I do have a question because like I'm also like learning. So okay, this also ties into discipline and dance or hobbies. Okay, so when I was growing up, if I would always beg my mom to put me into like a sport or a hobby, but then I would always never like it the first like month, and so she'd be like, okay, then I won't waste my money, and then she'd take me out of it. Whereas him, he's so freaking talented. Nora has a tablet. Everyone just has technology.
Oh, I know. She makes herself cell phones and laptops out of paper all the time. Mm-hmm. She's getting her first phone. Okay. I'm gonna regret it, but she's gonna get it. She put it in her
so cute.
So good. You guys have an advanced one. I'm saying right now, like you have a very advanced one on your hands. So just everything we're dealing with, like be ready because you're gonna be doing it very soon. She is not the average 2-year-old.
Question?
When I was growing up and I wanted to do a hobby or a sport or something, I would beg my mom to put me in, and then she'd pay all this money for like registration, like the first month, and then I ended up not liking the whole process. And whereas this guy, he's really freaking talented. So, but the thing is, his parents like kept him in all like the classes, and he like stuck through it. And like, whereas like mine, if I just said I don't want to do it, my mom's like, okay, then I'm not gonna waste my money. Whereas him, like, his parents had him like finish all of it. So like, if your kids wanted to do something or like say dance, and they said, oh, I don't want to do it anymore.
Well, how did you feel having to complete it all?
As you.
Oh, me?
Yeah, how did you feel being made to complete it?
I'm trying to think of all the extracurricular activities I did.
You did taekwondo, you did piano, you did tap, you did ballet, you did ballroom, you did.
And do you feel like it really like played a role in your development?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
But in that process, were there a lot of moments where it's like, I don't want to do this anymore?
Not really, to be honest. Yeah.
Because your sister said she didn't like doing half the stuff that.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of points like when we were doing like singing classes or piano lessons where it was just like I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. I'm not sure if it was the mentality that was instilled upon me or if it was just my own feeling, but everything that I was put into or signed up for the curricular activities or anything, it was always just a point to finish it or get to a point where I no longer needed it. Like for piano lessons, I got to a point where I could, I don't need lessons anymore because I can read music, I can improvise, do my own thing. Taekwondo, once I got my black belt, we were good. So I'm not sure if it was like something that was just like my own personal thing or something that, my parents instilled upon me, like do it until you get to a point where you're good enough to do it on your own or don't need it anymore.
I guess it goes to the whole thing of like every kid's different.
Yeah, it's different for everyone. I think
Jordan hasn't said I'm done with baseball, but he's like certainly open to trying things.
Yeah.
So then I feel like thankfully now there's trial classes, but even now if they want to do something, I think Steph and I talked about this, like if they're going to try something and then that requires a little bit of time, like 6 months, and we have to like talk, or it's 6 months, and then we have to obviously have the conversation. If you're going to do this, at least this long. That way it's like you see if you see if you really like it or you don't like it, because sometimes you just don't feel like it that day.
Yeah.
But maybe next week you'll like it. So it's kind of a negotiation. So that way, like they have a voice in how long they stick around, and it's not just a flip flop every second.
The way I see it for her, and she's young still, only 6 going on 7. I'll never force her to do something she doesn't want to do, but what I'm standing firm on, and me and her dad agreed, we're firm on, is that you have to be doing something that's involving you being physically active. You just have to, because that's good for your health. You just like eating. You got to eat some kind of fruits, vegetables. There are always going to be things we don't want to do in life, but we have to. So it's teaching that early on. You don't have to do every single thing. You don't have to be good at every single thing. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to pick something. So
Yeah.
it's your choice, but you're gonna have to do something to move your body. You're gonna have to eat something healthy at some point today. You're gonna have to pick a book to read. You know, you might not want to read this, and that, but you're gonna have to read something. So that's what it is. It's got to be something. Your choice.
Yeah. The things you're doing right now, they tell you have this or this.
Mm-hmm.
Just now they just have more choices when they're older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then